Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new video, and this one is a flip-through video. I'm going to show you the first half of my St. Louis album, and I finished this first half sooner than I expected because once I had my surgery, like my first little adventure out of the house was just going to a friend's house to scrap. I got there at about 9, I left about 5:30, so like kind of only the amount of a work day, but that was kind of all I could handle at that point, so it worked out great. And I got so much done, way more than I thought I would, so I'm ahead of schedule kind of, from what I expected on this one. And I do want to share, I counted a couple of things here. I managed to use 9 of my DIY travel embellishments that I made a while ago. If you haven't watched those videos, go watch them. It was so fun to put those together. And then shockingly, photo flips, 0. I have none in the first half of this album, which is very unlike me, but I think it's because I really tried to pare down which photos I was going to use. There are still a lot in here, but I really made an effort to say, you know what, I don't need to use every single thing, and to think really carefully about what I wanted to include in here. So just some things to notice as we go along. And then I have one comment about the possibility of switching this album, and it's for a very particular reason, and I'll mention it once I get there. All right, so here we are at the start, and I do have a process video for some of these, but not very many, because again, most of this work was done at my friend's house, so I wasn't recording, but I believe this one has a video, and I kept it pretty simple. Just did the stamping of my dates, used some letter stickers that I'd been hoarding forever, used my state stamps that I have. I do have a set that has all 50 states, which is awesome. Some embellishments, and that's it. And I like that it's a 4x8 insert. So I do have a mix here. I don't think I have any 3x8s. So I think it's a mix of 4x8 and 6x8. So here we go on the back side, and right here is my first DIY embellishment that I used. I used it to cover up the code that was on my boarding pass. And I used an acrylic embellishment, and actually I've used quite a few acrylic pieces in this first half, and it wasn't planned that way. It just is what happened to work out and what matched. So you're going to see quite a few of those as well. And then I believe I had process videos for both of these. Here's another DIY embellishment. So I'm already, a couple in just from doing these pages, which is awesome. Some washi, just a simple little phrase, nothing too complicated. And then I decided to do kind of an itinerary page because these were the major things we wanted to hit. Now, we ended up doing a lot more than what's on here because, as happens when you travel, we would pass things and be like, oh, we didn't realize this was so close. We should go in, or we should go see this. But these were the big 7 that we wanted to do while we were there. And also, here's another DIY embellishment right there. So happy I got to use so many of those, and it worked out really well. I didn't intend for these to match, but it worked out well that they do. And then over here, I just did very minimal embellishments, got to use my Airbnb stamp again, and that's always good. So our first major stop on our first full day there, because we came in at night, our first full stop was the zoo. And my friend Robin, who lives in St. Louis, was able to go with us. So we all went together, the 3 of us, which was very fun. And we weren't sure, but when we got there, they already had their Halloween decorations up. So we got to see all of that, which was a bonus. We didn't really expect that, but we all love Halloween, so we were totally fine with it. So here's another acrylic embellishment right here. Again, trying to use those up when I see a place where they would work, because this was September 29th. We flew in on the 28th, so that's the next day. And then we saw these little things lined up that were from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I love that movie, so I wanted to make sure that I scrapped those in my album. And here, I'm not sure if the camera picks it up well, but I did use a sparkle pen around the eyes. So it's got silver glitter around the eyes. Hopefully you're seeing that. Just as a little kind of extra punch, because otherwise the card felt a little flat. And then continuing on with all of the Halloween stuff. I think I actually ended up taking more pictures of the Halloween decorations than the animals. So make of that what you will. But it was just really fun stuff. And I had all these great little pieces that I could use, so why not? So there's more acrylics. Try to use those up too. Why not? And there's the 3 of us. I love that photo of all of us. And then they had these huge skeletons that were kind of around a central area as you were walking towards some of the animals. So I caught all of those on camera too. Why not? Very simple embellishment. And then over here, I just got lucky that I happened to have an alphabet sticker set that looks like candy corn. So I had to use it there. If I didn't, I would have really, really regretted it. All right, so I was wrong. I do have some 3x8s because here's one right here. So I have that in there. Just did minimal stickers here with some paw prints for the bear. And then I'm a wild one. Again, I kept it very simple. Zebra striped sticker here that came as a border sticker. So I just cut it down to what would fit. And then some little hoof marks. And that's it. And then the hippos, they were very active and very cute that day. So they had to get their own layout, of course. So I think I may switch these because I kind of don't like these 2 stickers on top of each other, but I didn't like these 2 photos next to each other. So I may change that around, but for now it looks like that. And then this was one of the things that we did not plan. It was on the way from the zoo to where we were going to go have lunch. And so Robin said, hey, let's just stop in there and you can just see the main floor real quick. So we went in and did that and it was stunning. This is the Missouri History Museum. So if you're ever in St. Louis and you want to see some beautiful architecture, look at that ceiling and those columns. And then there's this big statue of Thomas Jefferson right up front here. And so we kind of just walked the main floor quickly, took some photos and left. And then on the other side, you'll see they have this cool thing set up outside in a little courtyard. So we're like, okay, well, if we're here, that's the airport code and everything for the city. We need pictures of it. So we did that as well. And then this is another DIY embellishment that I made. So once we were done there, we went on to our lunch destination, which was a recommendation of Robin's, and it was fantastic. She was totally right to take us there. It was so, so good. And I kept it very kind of black and white and yellow because that's what the pictures had. So I didn't want to make it any more complicated. And I think it turned out well. So then we were off to the botanical garden, and Robin had already done this. So it was just the 2 of us. Holly and I went off to go do this on our own, and we got tickets to both daytime and nighttime. So you'll see day photos and then you'll see evening photos. But here's the entrance here. I kept it very simple because I knew I was going to have this brochure in there. And this completely folds out. It is a full map plus info on everything. And since I love Chihuly so much, I knew I wanted to keep the whole thing in there. And then I didn't do anything on the back here. I left it as is, but I wanted the other page to at least somewhat match with it. And I lucked out because I had all of these, which are the same color scheme. And then here's yet another DIY embellishment. I just got like super lucky that I had so many that would match with this stuff. And that's the beauty of having a ton just sitting around waiting to be used, because I can just go into my little bin, grab what works, slap it on, and it makes the pages really easy. And then here we go with more of the Chihulies, and there's another DIY embellishment. I just happened to have this scrap of paper and it worked because there was yellow in here. So I thought, all right, well, why not? A little chipboard there. And then here's another acrylic piece. And I love using these on larger layouts like this because otherwise it's really hard for me if I'm doing pocket pages to use that. Some might fit in a 4x6, but I tend to do way more vertical. So I have smaller slots. So if I can use it like this on a big layout, awesome. So here we are going around the outside to look at more Chihuly pieces. Another DIY travel embellishment, yay. And then just some random stickers and chipboard that had colors that looked good. Here's another 3x8 insert. And all I did was add this sticker in a gray so that it was neutral. That's it. And I loved these. They had such bright, beautiful colors inside the conservatory. So I went with the red and the yellow because I felt like they really popped the most. So just some simple phrases. And then I had this card that said, I love blank. And I happened to have yellow stickers that would fit with his name. So it worked out perfectly. And And then here are some photos from these arches that I just loved. Yellow is one of my favorite colors anyway, so the fact that he did these in yellow, just, you know, I felt like it was made for me. So I used this. I had this card already, but I stamped my happy place on there in the middle, and I think it worked out great. And this one was just a 4x8 card, already printed like that. All I did was put that yellow geotag on there to kind of match what was happening here, and that's really all I needed to do. On the back side here, I wanted to do this as an enlarged photo because I love the icicle pieces that he does. That's what they call those. And then I had this sort of lime green acrylic piece, and I thought, once again, perfect. It matches. I might as well use it. And then over here, they had this kind of desert looking setup, which I love that, having grown up in southwestern United States, in southern Colorado, like that works for me, that kind of landscape. And so I just thought these were gorgeous, so I wanted to put those in there as well. And then over here, I lucked out and just had this already, and the colors kind of matched what was happening in this particular piece. And then again, total luck that I had a phrase with these colors, black and this kind of reddish orange, and the lime green that kind of goes with the grasses and trees. It worked out perfectly, so why wouldn't I use it? So now we've come to the part where I made a boo-boo, and I may have to change the album. When I put this together, I totally forgot that this album only has 2 rings. There are 3 holes here. This is made for a 6-ring album, so it kind of free floats in here, and I can't decide if I'm okay with it or not. But I had put the tickets back to back and then covered up the codes with die cut flowers I had, as close a match as possible, and left it in there. So if that starts annoying me to the point where I need to switch albums, I will. I do have some in reserve. I don't like the colors as much for this album as I do the yellow and white, but I would do it if I had to. And then on this side, here's another DIY embellishment that I made, and I kept it very simple for how I put it together, and I feel like it highlights the pieces very well and does not detract from that. And now more chihoulis, but clearly we've moved into the nighttime, obviously, with those and these. Here it was still a little dusk, here it's full dark now, and these were just gorgeous the way they were illuminated. And it's kind of hard to see, but behind there it was very, very wooded, so these really jumped out in that purple, and they were just stunning. And then over here is another acrylic piece because it matched the color scheme. And again, when else am I going to use it? I might as well use it on an enlarged 6x8 photo. It's going to look nice as the title. And all I did was use a vellum strip to put the backing on that, and that's it. Because I had a full 6x8 page protector, I did another enlarged photo on this side. And again, very simple. I just used 2 phrases and a puffy sticker. That's it. And then I used a smaller one of the same color over here just so it would all match together. Very simple, very easy. And then over here, these were just so bold already. All I did was add this 1 sticker. That's it, and it doesn't need anything else. And then this one is the last layout of this half of the album. It was the last shot I took of the night, of the big icicle structure there, and yet another DIY embellishment. So I added that on there, added my date, chose to put a phrase. Really, it was more just to lighten it up because it was very, very dark with all the black and the brown. So I just used that to bring out some of the white, matted the photo, and that's it. So now you have seen the whole first half. I'm still kind of in awe that I got that all done. And we'll see if I switch albums or stay with this one. But I hope you'll come back and watch part 2 once I finish that. Thanks for watching.